Welcome back to another video, beloved. Just like we said, we're going to bring you updates on the news that has been trending about Pastor Isaac Oyedepo leaving his father's ministry, Winners Chapel, to form his own ministry. We're actually back here with another video, and in this video we want to look at the strong warning that Pastor Isaac gives to the entire public concerning the news that is going around about him. And before we get into that, the reason we said you should be patient and wait for updates is because even though the news that is going around about him is said to have been confirmed from the trusted source, we still haven't heard him say it directly from his own mouth that he was leaving his father's ministry. And Living Faith Church hasn't confirmed the news, and even his family has not said anything yet on this. So it is really not wise for anybody to jump into conclusion looking at the fact that what is presented so far as evidence is not really enough to prove the fact that he's leaving his father's ministry. And if you don't believe what I'm saying, hang on a little as we look at his statement that he released to the public addressing the current news that is trending about him. And I think it was important for him to address this because almost everyone has been waiting for it. So without any waste of time, let's get into it before we look at what follows.
This is Pastor Isaac's statement that he released to the public addressing the news trending about him leaving his father's ministry. In a statement shared on his X account on Tuesday, he clarified that there are no complications in his relationship with his family, particularly his father, and he remains a steadfast member of the Living Faith Church, also known as Winners Chapel International. He reiterated his commitment to the church and requested that the public exercise caution when considering information that has not been communicated through his official social media platforms. Let's look at what he said.
It is worthy of note that no external statements have been authorized or verified by me. I must state that there are no complications in my relationship with my beloved family and my beloved dad, Bishop David Oyedepo, who have stood by me over the years. Nor are there any in my commitment to my church, turned home, Living Faith Church, also known as Winners Chapel International. I remain a steadfast member of Living Faith Church, dedicated to service in the body of Christ. I urge the general public to treat information not communicated by me or from any of my social media platforms with extreme caution. There should be no further publication or publications on social media, electronic or print media about any severance of my relationship with the Living Faith Church or my family without my express authorization, as it may be considered a breach to my privacy. Thank you so much for understanding.
Previous reports had suggested that the younger Oyedepo had resigned his position as the youth pastor of Winners Chapel, although there was no official letter of resignation published. This clearly reveals that what was reported, if false, and he didn't make any statement or official publication that indicated that the news about him was true in any way. People even went as far to say he betrayed his father, and others said he left the church, meaning he backslided, while some were calling him a prodigal son. This is how terrible people quickly react to false informations, especially concerning men of God. But let's be careful. There has been another false report that Minister Moses Bliss is engaged to a lady still this week, but let's leave that for another video. Back to the matter on ground. We hope that this official statement from the man of God doesn't only clarify matters, but serve as a lesson for those who judge too quickly.
After releasing this statement, is very important. Now my question is this: is it really going to be effective? Because this is not just addressing the issue that is going on, it is also a warning to those that are spreading false rumors. And the question still remains that, is this going to solve the problem? And the reason I'm asking this question is that even though his statement is very straightforward and the warning seems to be very clear, people are still going ahead to force it to fit into their false narrative. The direction or path that this man of God is traveling, everybody who goes this path faces with the same challenge. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is that even though it is important to always do your best to address situations like this, it is also important to prepare your mind that things like this will always happen, because people are ready at every time to always bring up false rumors, especially when it concerns men of God. Once you go off, you become a topic of discussion, right? And that is the same thing that our fathers in the men of God have faced. So even in trying to address things like this, what I would say is that he should prepare his mind for more of these kinds of situations. And I'm sure you understand exactly what I'm talking about. Even though this sometimes has great effects but shouldn't be a distraction, the best you can do is to do what you can in response to the situation. There is so much hatred that is directed at the church, and one thing that is very important to note is that information is power. People who control information controls the world. And that is why some of us are also getting involved into this, instead of allowing people who have hatred for the body of Christ to push forth wrong narratives and informations about men of God and things that are happening in the church. We too can get engaged to push forth the right information about things happening in the body of Christ and in the church, to present the right information, to prevent people from spreading false information about the church and about men of God, especially to stop them from deceiving innocent people who are quick to believe information that they haven't verified, and giving a false impression and image about God's servants. People are always ready to say anything, and there are people who have genuine hatred for men of God and for the church. And so we need to be careful also the kind of things that we listen to and what we say. I am glad that there are some brethren who are also making sure that they provide people with the right information. The purpose of this channel is to bring you teachings from different men of God to keep your spiritual life on fire. And also we take our time to create contents for your spiritual edification. We are also involved to bring you updates about everything that is happening in the body of Christ, because it is very important for you to get the right information and not allow people out there who have hatred for the church and for the servants of God to continue painting the wrong image about the church and the servants of God and spreading false rumors.